Eels make a visit down to play the Raiders, and what an important match it is for both sides. Let's have a look at the team rundowns. The Raiders, fullback Steve O'Callaghan, lining Paul Taylor. Three-quarters are Walker, Ghetto, Bellamy and Corkery, and they take on the formidable quartet of Hunt, Cronin, Ella and Growth. Henjack and O'Sullivan, a pair of brilliant halves for Canberra, and they take on a couple of fellows who've also got plenty of talent, Brett Kenny and Peter Sterling. Lance, Elliott, Bacco, Ellis, Hoffman and Grant have the job of lining Price, Laurie, Wynne, Mayers, Stewart, who's in for Edge, and Phelan. Don Furner coaches Canberra, and very successfully. John Mooney, he's the man in the hot seat at Parramatta in 1984. Canberra running from right to left. Referee for the match is Barry Barnes. Ray Price captains the Eels today, and the ball has been sent down to Peter Sterling. Taylor brings it away. Play about 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. First set of 6 tackles for either side. Played by Peter Wynne just inside the quarter. To Sterling, to clear. Very little breeze here to speak of. O'Callaghan 25 metres out. Met there and pulled down by Taylor. Phelan coming in over the top. Parramatta won the first round encounter back at Belmore by 19-6. And in that match, I recall Peter Sterling did everything. He was absolutely the dominant force for Parramatta that day, the number 7. And a penalty. This referee, one of his pet hates is the outside backs getting inside the 5, and Barry Barnes is prepared to run miles to give a penalty. So Canberra coming up with it. The first penalty of the match, taken by their number 9, second row forward, Paul Elliott, good player. And the tap is to be taken by Chris O'Sullivan. Pass has gone back to Henjack and then to O'Sullivan, and something went wrong there. So it appeared. Number 11 is getting quite a reception, Grant Ellis. The Eels letting him know they've come to town. Bill Anderson, how do you see it going?
I think Parramatta will win the game and win it comfortably. I've had the feeling for the last few weeks that Canberra have developed the staggers, and it's going to be a real test for them if there are any chance of making the 5.
Well, that man certainly wasn't staggering, Sam Bacco. Took it up very hard. He met some solid defence. This is Giddo, tackled on 5. He's tackled on the 22 line. The bomb goes up from the boot of Bellamy. Kenny's underneath it. And Kenny, one of the best bomb takers in the business, takes it magnificently and is bombarded by the Canberra defence. But there's not a skill in the game, and I honestly mean this, there's not a skill in the game that Brett Kenny doesn't specialise in. It's out with Sterling. Sensational take by Kenny there under a lot of pressure in front of his own sticks. Hunt plays it. Sterling calls them to the blind, and this man is Mark Laurie. He's only 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Penalty now for the same thing. People have come to accept Barry Barnes and the stringent attitude he takes on this ruling, because he does remain consistent on it. Sterling taking the line kick. Good kick too. Canberra winning the corresponding match here at Seiffert over last year, 8-0. It's a good trick too, keeping the Parramatta side scoreless. Is Price to the halfway. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Sterling, Kenny, Phelan. Over the halfway, Phelan. And it's come down for Steve Ella. The referee said play on. I thought he may have ruled that the ball was lost forward. Here's Mayers. And looking to pop it and doing so. Quick hands Kenny. And away to Laurie. Laurie giving it to Stewart. They switch play back, and Sterling, quick hands to Cronin. Cronin to Ella. Ella calls on Growth, and there goes the big man down to the 22, but beautifully marked and taken by Billy Walker. That'll be a good contest out there today between Growth and Walker. Big man on big man. And Walker taking him nicely.
I spoke to Billy Walker before the match, and he indicated how keen he was looking forward to this clash against Derek Growth. He's been watching Growth for years play football, and he absolutely idolises him.
That's Dean Lance playing at the back of the Canberra scrum, and a penalty against Cronin. Cronin inside the 5. Well, let's hope this big crowd, we haven't been given the official figure as yet, but let's hope this big crowd gets what they came to see, and that is one hell of a rugby league contest. Grant getting through a fairly frail defensive line from the Eels. This will be a scrum. Lower grade result, 16-6 thirds to Parramatta, 16-10 reserves to Canberra. As Canberra come up with the scrum, and Henjack gets around Ray Price and scurries off inside the 22 line, but is picked up by Sterling to the open side. O'Sullivan jinks and goes back in behind that play the ball, where Henjack was able to make some good ground just a few seconds back. And this is Ellis. 15 out right in front, the Raiders pressing Grant. The Mares took him higher that time and came out of it much better. Stewart is down very groggy in the back play. 5 gone for the Raiders, and they'll be chancing the bomb here, I would think. Back for the kick by O'Sullivan. Not a top kick. It's come down, and Steve Ella is knocked on, but it's a penalty to Parramatta. Penalty to Parramatta is the way the referee has seen it. This was the bomb on the NEC replay. And looking at the replay, I suppose there would be a share of people around who thought maybe the penalty could have gone the other way.
If Canberra are going to hold Parramatta, where they're going to have to tidy up is their outside back defence. There's no doubt that Parramatta have got the best back line in the competition, particularly now Cronin's return to the fold, and they're extremely dangerous with players like Cronin, Ella and Kenny out wide.
Price playing it forward, gaining another 7 or 8 metres. Ray Price played in the 3rd test yesterday, his last international for Australia. Backing up for his club today, along with Eric Growth, and what a warrior he has been for both codes. Kenny, of course, had 12 minutes. Blindside, and a cut-out ball by Sterling, finding Hunt. He kicks right-footed, but he gets the ball to go infield. Trouble for the fullback. Hunt will nearly score, but it's gone badly, the bounce in the last couple of metres. Referee is giving possession to Canberra. Play on the Raiders line. That's Corkery, the winger. Right hand, very heavily taped. That's O'Callaghan. And now Bacco. Wind went high and he shrugged him off. Mayers came from behind with Stewart low and Price. And the Raiders have reached the 22, and I believe their 3rd tackle has expired. This is Grant loping his way back into the middle. And tackle with it is Elliott. Gitto to clear. Hunt's got it covered for the time being. Yes, he's safely got it. Taylor's with him, so is Sterling. Hunt coming across the ground and immediately is tackled by the kicker, Ron Gitto. Sterling jinking and probing and picking up a runner. That's Mark Laurie going a further 15 metres down ground. Midway 22, halfway, Canberra's into the field. It's out through Kenny to Taylor to Sterling, and now it's Stewart. And play now to the centre of the ground, and you'll find Parramatta with the ability to attack on both sides of it. Is Cronin looking inside, then holding it back, giving it to Mayers. Mayers gets the pass away to Steve Ella. Ella gets away from Jay Hoffman, scampers up the middle, goes to the 22 line. He's run out of support and has tackled 15 metres out. Had he have looked on the left, he had two runners who were running free. Stewart, Sterling, Kenny, Price on his outside. Kenny gets inside and gets the pass back to Ray Price. He passes and it goes out there, and diving in to score wide out is, I believe, Mark Laurie. Yes, it is. It's Laurie who scored. Parramatta keeping it alive. And just as we thought Steve Ella probably should have passed and found a player on his inside, for a certain six-pointer it would have been, Parramatta continued, they persisted and punched this ball wide, and Kenny did very well. He was held by a leg, but he got a ball away to Price, and it was a daisy cutter, and Price got the ball to Mark Laurie, who dived in wide out for the first points of the game.
Well, on the previous play, the ball, had Ella looked on his left-hand side, Parramatta would have scored under the post, but it didn't matter. And here we can see Parramatta. They're the masters of this light ball football, where they're able just to keep the ball alive. Price, the ever-present number 8 for Parramatta, backed up on the inside, saw the player Laurie unmarked outside him, popped the pass over the top, and over he goes in the corner.
So Mark Laurie, the try scorer, and Michael Cronin attempting this conversion. He's a long way out there. The breeze, what there is of it, is coming across the ground, and it's not going to be helping Cronin at all. It looks good in flight, just missing, only just though. And Parramatta leads Canberra in the NEC big game after 11 minutes by 4 points to 0. In the first half, if it is favouring either, it's favouring Parramatta slightly. It has a tendency to be getting across the ground. The kick by Giddo is sent straight down to Taylor, and the winger Hunt is bringing it out. And he's almost done it again, Hunt. He's almost like a magician, the way he just continually gets across the ground, then he takes a huge sidestep, and often he punches the defence wide open. Here's Phelan out to the 32. Stewart is the dummy half. Sterling, win. Back to the blind they go. Price hits it up. Price looks around for Kenny, passes, and it's with Canberra. Canberra to play it. It's Elliott. And now Ellis. Hoffman. Grant. Mayers. I think I said to you earlier in the commentary that he went to take Grant earlier and he tried to take him too low, and every attempt he's made since has been up around the torso area, and he hasn't missed since. But here's O'Sullivan doing some good work, and Growth was standing up pretty flat, and Growth has to go back very urgently to try and clean it up. Can he get back into the field of play? No, he can't. Line drop out. Good pressure football by the Raiders. Good save by Eric Growth, though. It's good football by O'Sullivan.
That's the second break we've seen made near the rucks by O'Sullivan. Henjack also made a break earlier in the game, and there's no doubt that that's where the Canberra attacking strength is, their half 5'8" area.
So the line drop out is taken by Ella. Gee, that's a big drop kick by Ella. That's gone nearly 60 metres on the fly. The drop kick from Ella. He did use the breeze that was there for him, but by the same token, it was a monster of a kick from him. And this is Bellamy now, tackled by Laurie. Running with it is Dean Lance. And a couple of times in this match we've seen Parramatta made to look fairly ordinary in defence. But they lead by 4 points to 0. Henjack, O'Sullivan, O'Callaghan, and tackled on the halfway line by Laurie. Price was up the top. O'Sullivan again. Now Elliott turning it back to him, and O'Sullivan goes through the forwards, but he's met there by Stewart and Price. Stewart playing in jumper number 17. As this kick is put in, looking for the line, but it's been taken by Taylor, knocked backwards as the referee, and Taylor down on his knees, passes and finds Hunt, and Hunt is out to the 32-metre line. Dummy half is Stewart. Sterling over to Mayers. The big man stands and looks to offer it and decides to take it to ground. Now it's with Sterling. Win out wide. Bust them and held by the second row forward, Paul Elliott. Midway 22 halfway, the Parramatta into the ground. Sterling kicks. And that's not a bad looking kick from Sterling. In fact, it's a beaut kick. Finding touch. 25 metres out from the Canberra line. Seiffert Oval, this breeze is blowing directly into the scoreboard corner. Lance, Giddo, Taylor up in the front line of defence at the moment. Sterling has dropped back to fullback. Side Parramatta, but they've done it so successfully for so long. It's either Taylor up in the front line or Sterling, or Kenny drops back to fullback. You can look back there and find any one of 4 fullbacks when you include Ella at any particular time. At the moment, Sterling's playing fullback, and Taylor is playing at half in defence. Just have little spells back there.
Well, as well as having a spell from the fullback position, sometimes a player like Sterling would benefit from the fact that he gets a good overview of how the game's progressing and how things are happening and maybe where there's a hole. And when Parramatta gets the ball, he's able to move up into that first pass position and capitalise on what he might have seen.
As he did just then. It's gone through Kenny to Cronin. Cronin taken up the top by Grant. Taken low by Gitto, and here's Hunt coming across the ground, and he was snapped off then nicely in defence by Dean Lance, one of the best hitters in the game. Here's Phelan. Now Mayers. Paul Mayers, a good strong run, then getting it away to Stewart. It's been stretched out to Phelan, who can't take it. The ball went backwards, and it's 5 gone for Parramatta. To the blind side for Wynn, and Wynn kicks. Going down to Corkery, the winger. Tackled by Hunt and Sterling. This is O'Callaghan. Backo.
When you remove it, please, if we've got to remove it, you won't get it back.
Elliott. That's done a dipsy-doodle around Eric Growth, but Paul Taylor is back there as custodian for this passage of play, and Taylor passes and picks up Growth, and Growth is motoring. Ooh, he took a very heavy hit then. Firstly, Backo got in with a fairly good tackle, and Grant got off a very good shot. Knocked down by Canberra. This will be 6 more for the Eels. Well, he hasn't nullified it. Sterling runs with it. It's a wide ball out there for Mark Laurie. Turns it inside for Brett Kenny. And Kenny's tackled 12 metres short of the halfway. Stretches on to the right, and it's out with Phelan.
They've got to give a lot of credit to the Canberra Raiders defence, because Parramatta are playing particularly well. Kenny's looking dangerous at 5'8", and Mayers has made some great busts up the middle, but Canberra keep covering up for one another and nullifying the initial breaks that Parramatta are making.
Taylor. Getting outside the 22, Taylor. Sterling. Cronin. Ella got a bad ball, kicked ahead by Giddo. They're a chance here, Canberra. Giddo getting himself free from Hunt, picking up Corkery, and Corkery's in. Corkery, the wing 3/4 for Canberra, scoring. Well, Neil Hunt will not be very happy with himself. This is how it happened. Steve Ella got a devil of a pass. Giddo put it on the boot, and then it was Hunt who had him, and he got away from Hunt sufficiently so that he was able to get that ball to Corkery, and Cronin was made to look fairly fragile in defence as well, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it all started with a bad pass by Mick Cronin that was towed ahead, but here we can see where the try was really made when Giddo was able to shake off a tackle by Neil Hunt, got his hands free, gave the pass to Corkery, and he gave a good in and away to be able to beat Michael Cronin and score in the corner.
So the try scorer, Matthew Corkery. And it's Ron Giddo who's going to attempt conversion from almost on the touchline and the 22, and he's kicking into the breeze. There it goes, in flight, just falling short. He had the direction pretty good, but it fell short, and so the scoreline 4 points all in the NEC big game. You're watching Canberra versus Parramatta. There goes the chant from the crowd for the Raiders. The try has given them some encouragement. Deep kick by Cronin, and it's with O'Callaghan. And that's a pretty good chase by Parramatta. O'Callaghan playing it just 15 metres back into the field of play. Elliott. Jay Hoffman. Grant. Everywhere Grant goes, you can bet your bottom dollar that Paul Mears is not too far away. Here's Ellis. Kenny around the bootlaces. 5 tackles gone for the Raiders as Elliott sets himself and kicks it across the ground to Hunt. And Price is getting across there with Hunt. He beats one, gets away from a second. He's going to make them in. Oh, he's put them into awful trouble. Peter Wynn, still with the ball is Wynn. And it's gone back to Canberra, I think. No, the referee has ruled play on the ball with Peter Wynn. Out to Sterling. Now Kenny. Oh, beautiful dummy by Kenny. It's with Growth, and that should be 6 more, I think. Yes, he's nullified the tackle count bar. 15 metres out from the Canberra line. The big stretch to the left, one would think, but Phelan has put the head down and taken it to ground. As Canberra come up with the ball. Phelan's very sick and sorry. Backo. Peter Wynn is down injured. So's Chris Phelan. And the penalty goes to Canberra. Again, the 3/4 out wide, getting offside. So Billy Walker, the Canberra winger, helping Chris Phelan over to trainer Alf Richards. Show of sportsmanship there by Billy. Good to see. Right on the halfway line, the tap will be taken. Wynn has been treated, he's okay. But Phelan is being walked, if I can use that expression. He's being walked by Graham Richards, the son of Alf. Rubbery legged is Chris Phelan. 17 minutes of the first half to go. And there's a scrum and a half. They finished up on opposite sides to where they started. And the penalty has gone to Parramatta, and he's given the penalty to the Blue and Golds because of Canberra forcing the scrum off its mark. Sterling finding the line. Just inside the Canberra 22. Sterling, Kenny, Wynn. 12 metres away from the Canberra line. Hunt. Getting away from the tackle. Hunt, he'll be hard to keep out. He's a metre out from the line now. Play in that bottom corner in front of the scoreboard. The Sterling-Kenny run around, and Kenny made the split, or half a split. And he was ready to pass, but there wasn't a runner there. Taylor, Sterling, Cronin, Back to Sterling. They keep up the wrap. Sterling sees an opening, and again no support there. And a penalty has gone to Parramatta. He's penalised Ron Gitto, and I think you'll find this is the reason why there was no support there. Gitto actually took Ella out of the game. And that's why I think Peter Sterling looked for support and couldn't find him. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Ron Gitto tackled Steve Ella when Ella was minding his own business. Couldn't work out what had gone wrong there, to be quite honest with you. It's not like Ella and Kenny and those guys not to be there when there's an obvious chance on.
More than obvious chance. It was no doubt a try, and it was a possible sin bin offence.
So Cronin has a very simple penalty kick. 11 metres out, just on a little bit of an angle. And the breeze won't give him any troubles at all. In fact, Michael could have thrown it over. And Parramatta once again in the lead by 6-4. But we've very much got a contest on our hands here at Seiffert Oval. O'Sullivan. Ellis. Hoffman. Pursued by Mayers. And together with Phelan, they make the tackle. 5 gone again for Canberra. And again, it's back with Elliott, who hasn't had any luck with his kicking game today. Not that he was looking to find the line then, but I can't recall that Paul once in this first half has managed to find the line, if in fact that's what he was trying to do.
Well, the major reason for that is the fact that Parramatta nullifies so well from second mark of anyone that does try to kick the ball. They move out very quickly and put pressure on you.
Is that why they're the king of the charge downs?
That's right.
Played by Peter Wynn. Ken Stewart decides to go from dummy half. Spins it back to Paul Taylor. And we're up to that last 5 minutes of the first half. Parramatta, I'm sure, will be keen to get some points on the board in this period. They've had the breeze for the first 40. Cronin, Phelan. Big hit by Grant. They're both hurt. Phelan and Grant are both getting up very, very groggily. Oh, Phelan's face, it's been split. And so is Grant's. Oh, my goodness. Both men have been opened with forehead wounds, and both very, very groggy as Walker hits it back into the centre of the ground, but that was one hell of a big hit. Grant on Phelan. The entire grandstand shook, in fact. Have a look at it. It was forehead to forehead. It was like a running Liverpool kiss.
David's on the sideline. The doctor's looking at him, no doubt questioning as to whether he should be stitched or not. But David's not very keen to come off. He wants to wait till half-time. No, the doctor's asking him to go to the dressing room.
Well, that's David Grant taken care of. But what about Phelan's out there and blood everywhere over his face? But he's in there making that tackle in number 13. His face is just covered in blood. I reckon his former coach, Jack Gibson, would be saying, that's my boy Chiselchin. Is the nickname he put on him. Chiselchin. He's as hard as a block of granite. He's going to carry on anyway. So Sterling underneath it. O'Sullivan, he's got around him. He's got him between them. Oh, and another big hit on Sterling. And I think he's lost it. He has. Hoffman's come away with it. Couple of very big tackles by Canberra. That one was put in by Dean Lance. So the Raiders are really hitting, and they're hitting hard.
They might be playing the premiers, but they're not worried about reputations.
No way in the world. It's out with Henjak, who throws dummies all over the place. Oh, that's a great tackle by Phelan. He must have very little sight either at the same time, Phelan, because it'd be almost impossible for the man to see. It's gone across to Lance. Now it's with Henjak. Across to O'Sullivan. Gitto's with it now. Pirouettes and he might score. Oh, try-saving tackle by Peter Sterling. And here it is with Billy Walker. And he's short. And that'll be a turnover. Well, if you've ever used the word pressure to describe football, I'm sure you'd agree that was a perfect example of it. Sustained pressure by the Raiders. and some magic defence by the Parramatta side, particularly Phelan and particularly Sterling.
It was good football by Canberra, but Parramatta, they were equal to the task.
Here's Paul Mears now. Penalty to Parramatta. Tap taken by Sterling. Spread to Kenny. Given to Cronin. Now to Ella. Ella to Growth. The big man is away. Henjack covers him up. Oh, that's a great tackle by Ivan Henjack. He's hurt his arm too, Henjack, in making the tackle. But there it was. It had to be done. Growth had to be cut down. And look at this little man. He hurt his right arm in making a try-saving tackle for Canberra. There's no doubt if Henjack had a missed Growth, that would have been shut the gate and 6 points.
It's like tackling a Sherman tank.
Never tried it, but it doesn't sound real good. Penalty to Parramatta. He's got him for walking off the mark. The dying seconds of the first 40 minutes. And if you've paid your way through the gate, I would guess that you've had no complaints. Sterling's kick for line is a big one. That responsibility taken from Michael Cronin by Sterling. There's Henjack with that right arm hanging limply. They're going to have to do something quickly, the Eels. They'd only have time for probably one set of 6, and Mears has taken care of that for them. And so it's a scrum. Midway, 22 halfway, Canberra's end of the field. Canberra with a 5-man pack. Grant off, and I guess by that fact that they're prepared to go on with 5 at the moment. Grant is being stitched and will come back after the break. The sound of the referee's whistle and the siren simultaneous, and Canberra to take this penalty. Well, there can only be one thing left for them. That's to take the tap and then go for broke. Although O'Sullivan, who's the playmaker here, has been doing plenty of talking. He might have one little trick up his sleeve. Very much out of the manual, and it's with Kenny, and that's the end of the first half. So Parramatta goes to the break, leading by 6-4. 1 try to each side. Laurie for Parramatta, Corkery for Canberra. And we'll take a break and be back with more of this explosive action in just a moment. Get this second half underway, and welcome back. Let's hope we enjoy the next 40 as much as I hope you did the first. This is Ivan Henjack. Ian Hamilton is on in jumper number 14 for the Raiders. That lad replacing Matthew Corkery, their try scorer. David Grant, the big prop forward, has been stitched up as Ellis makes a break for Canberra towards the halfway. And look at that bandage that Grant is now wearing. This is Lance. 10 stitches, I'm told, in the wound suffered by David Grant. Elliott. Cronin's there waiting for the dregs, and this is the tackle that Parramatta will stretch it on if he can play the ball quickly. They're not ready for it themselves, really, though. And a penalty goes to Parramatta. Inside the 5 against Canberra. It's been easily the penalty that Barnes has been working on most severely. Little Peter Sterling, who's kicking in the first half, was a feature of the game, finds the line about 30 metres out from the Raiders line. And Ken Stewart takes the tap, decides to take it ahead himself for about 8. And Parramatta's entire team is now to the left of the ground as Growth passes to Sterling. Picks up the second man in the running wall. It was Peter Wynn. This is Stewart. Sterling to the left again. And he goes back to the right, and Mears has done well to take it after making a complete bundle of it. Walker comes at Growth. Growth is tackled. That contest over there has been a good one. It's with Sterling. Here's Ella, and he's held by these two front row giants from Canberra, Grant and Ellis. Taylor, little kick over the top. O'Callaghan's under pressure. Taylor's coming through, and O'Callaghan has to take it to ground in goal. So it's a line drop out and just another little variation of the Parramatta play. Canberra standing off Taylor, thinking he was going to kick for line with a little grubber, probably. But Taylor mixed the game up, put the little chip over the top. And here's the line drop out coming straight down to Peter Sterling. He's called growth in, and here comes the big man. 30 metres out. Played back to Stewart, given to Laurie. And Laurie, who scored a try for Parramatta at the 10th minute, plays it just outside the 22. Peter Wynn now. Hasn't been seen as much of today as we've grown accustomed with Peter Wynn in 1984. Sterling knocked down by Hoffman. It should be 6 more. Well, he must have ruled that he didn't play at the ball, the Canberra player, because he hasn't started it again. It's with Ella. Kenny, a short ball blindside for Sterling. Oh, Cronin got a pass away, a magic ball. It wasn't really a pass, it was a catch and push, if you understand what I'm trying to say, and Growth put it down. This is Walker. Walker's hurt that ankle. Lance, 5 or 6 metres inside the quarter. Bacco, that's good defence by Parramatta. They went up and met them. Hoffman, dummy half run, a good run by Jay Hoffman. He's busted them wide open. Here comes O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan is tackled on 5 by Ray Price. To the left it goes to Elliott. He puts up the bomb. Kenny's back there. He's going to let it go. It'll go over the dead ball line and come back for the 22 place kick restart for the Eels.
And once again, in the last set of 6 tackles, Parramatta were found wanting around the rucks. Their defence has been fairly brittle in that area. Jay Hoffman went to dummy half and made good yardage, and no doubt John Marnie would be concerned about that lack of defence around the 15 metres either side of the play the ball.
Stewart. Taylor. Phelan. Very much stop-start stuff, though. Stewart now. Win. Sterling wants it. He's got it. Out to Kenny. Canberra defence coming up fast. Cronin. Look at this. Grant is a huge man trying to put Cronin down, and he, along with many others that have preceded him, failed. And Sterling's kick has gone out on the full. 1 inch, was it? Scrums 7-2 to Canberra, and penalty 7-6 to Parramatta. Another scrum win to Canberra. O'Sullivan to Henjack. Henjack away to Bellamy. Bellamy turns it inside. Finds O'Sullivan backing up. Ball played just outside the Parramatta 22. Bellamy looking to turn it on the inside. Passing, and Giddo's being tackled without the ball. Canberra get the penalty. Good ruling by Barnes, because he gave one to Parramatta earlier in the match. You'll recall when Giddo tackled Ella when he wasn't in possession. Still no advice of the official crowd attendance, but as I said, the officials were telling me that they were confident the 17,500 would go. Giddo's kick, it's good. Giddo's kick, spot on. So 6 points all. Canberra, Parramatta. Cronin restarts. Long way to go, though. 31 minutes, in fact. O'Callaghan to play it. He's lost it. Mears coming up with it.
It was almost like a boy that had got caught holding the lollies. Paul Mears, he said, should I give it back?
Yeah. And Parramatta with a scrum 10 metres out from the Canberra line, and a very good chance for Sterling and his teammates to do something now. Peter Wynn passes. It's gone to Paul Taylor, on to Michael Cronin, now to Brett Kenny. Kenny taken by O'Sullivan, who's having one heck of a game for Canberra today. It's out to Taylor, now with Price, the dummy, in the run round, and Price swallowed by the defence of Grant and Ellis. Played again by Parramatta. Again they hit the blind. Then it's Peter Wynn who passes to Cronin, Cronin to Taylor. Taylor comes back to the open side and tackled 10 metres out. Now the stretch is on to the left for the blue and golds, but a penalty to Parramatta. That's for stealing the ball. Well, here's the official attendance now, through at 17,407. 17,407, and that does break the record, which was officially 17,365. Here's Taylor struggling to get up to play it. And it was there that Canberra committed their offence. Cronin, no frills attached to that one, raises the flags and puts Parramatta back in front at 8 points to 6. And you're watching the NEC big game. Giddo with the restart. Oh, I'll be blowed. It's hit the crossbar and gone over the dead ball line. So it's a line dropout to restart for Parramatta. Well, Kenny and Sterling were standing there. One was in front of the crossbar, the other behind it. And to use their words, would be probably not fit for television replay.
Well, fairly unfortunate, because the ball hit the upright and then landed in the in goal area. And of course, had it hit the upright and gone dead without landing in the in goal, it would have been a penalty against Canberra from the centre of the halfway.
This is O'Callaghan, the fullback, and now Lance. Ellis. I think he's been Canberra's best forward, Ellis. Backo. Penalty to Canberra. Well, this is very much tit for tat, isn't it? Ella's the man that's been penalised. And the referee believed the tackle had been affected. He may have even called held, and then Ella pinched the ball from him. (8-6) to Parramatta currently, but the man with the sand at the moment, about to build himself a mound, Ron Giddo, has got different ideas about that scoreboard staying as it is. 1 from 2 for the skipper of the Raiders, former Magpie, former Rooster. And here he comes now with the attempted penalty, and he's got it. So it's 8 points all. 8 points all at Seiffert, and the crowd again are encouraged to give the Raiders one more cheer. This afternoon, I hope you enjoyed the final, the Winfield Masters snooker. And let me say bon voyage and farewell to Ted Lowe, who was our commentator during it, who's made his last trip to Australia as a commentator. Thank you, though, for the memories. He's been a great ambassador for the game all over the world. He's done a good job for us. This is Giddo, just inside the 22-way line. Through 2 sets of hands, and we pick up Dean Lance with the ball. And Jack to David Grant, and he just tried to squeeze out that ball that was probably best kept in his arms. Parramatta coming up with it 32 metres out, and Peter Wynn will try and do something quickly. There's just that little bit of punctuation in things that the Parramatta are trying to do today. Gross to play it, 22 out.
There is some hesitation, as you called it, Ray, in the Parramatta play. I've been watching Steve Ella for the last 5 or 6 minutes. He's been trying to set himself for a run, but every time he runs into what he considers to be a hole, Parramatta have been turning the ball the other way or dropping it.
Kenny losing it. Desperately trying to unload a pass was Kenny. And the scrum just outside the Canberra 22. Canberra with the feed. Penalty to Parramatta. Well, he's got him for the incorrect feed, Chris O'Sullivan. If there's a blemish on his game today, the number 7, that would be it, because his hooker with the feeds today has been having a picnic against Ken Stewart. But oh my goodness, he didn't make any half measure of that one. He put it straight into the second row. David Grant getting some more attention as our cameras were focused on the penalty. And a penalty to Parramatta. Well, he's got them for not being back the 10 metres. And Cronin will take the kick at goal. An easy one. He's got to take the shot. He has, in fact, said, I'm taking the kick. But I was just getting the feeling they were brewing up to something then, Parramatta. Two from 3 for Michael Cronin. Wednesday night, we're at Lang Park, Brisbane for one hell of a rugby league match. Combined Brisbane versus Canterbury Bankstown. It's almost the match that everybody's been waiting for. The premiership front runners of the time against Combined Brisbane. Cronin's kick is successful. So the second half has come down really to a battle between Michael Cronin, Ron Gitto and Barry Barnes. 10-8 the scoreline. Parramatta leading. Neil Hunt. He just will not give in. He just keeps going across about 5 or 6 metres, and then bang, he steps off it. But he hasn't been able to reach it. Mayers, a solid hit up, but gee, that fellow's tackled well today, Dean Lance. A performance that I hope hasn't gone unnoticed. His defence has been superb, and some very heavy tackles by Dean. Chris Phelan. I'm amazed that he looks as good as he does, Chris, because he was giving off more blood than David Grant when they had that clash in the first half. 5 gone for the Eels. Sterling is to the left on the blind. Here he is. It's the midfield bomb. Price was onside. Callaghan is tackled just inside the 22, not held by Price, and is held by Ella and Sterling. Bellamy. Parramatta leading by 2 points, 17 to go. Dummy half Jay Hoffman. Paul Mears has received attention. It's across to Ivan Henjak, holding back a pass. And he's off the little fellow. Mears has gone across after receiving ambulance attention to make the tackle. Stretched now to the right for the Canberra Raiders. Oh, Big Ellis. He's done nothing wrong all day, and he's put it down. Peter Wynn. They've got the numbers here, Parramatta. Kenny to Ella to Hunt. Walker had to come in. Backo comes across. Hunt kicks. It's still on for Walker and Ella. A great chase, Walker and Ella. And Walker puts it over the dead ball line. But that was good work by Neil Hunt. Good work by Hunt. And good work by Sam Backo, the tackler. Here he was in full flight. He hasn't got a left foot kick, but he still managed to get it infield for Ella to chase. Well, this is becoming nail-biting stuff now. Of course, Parramatta, their mission is to finish in the top 3. Their plight is not as awesome as the one Canberra faces, of course, they being one of 3 sides battling for 4th and 5th. with, of course, two more sides just breathing down their neck. So they really need a win, Canberra. Here's Taylor. I mean, it's not the end of the section for them if they're beaten, but gee, a win against Parramatta would be 2 points against the budget. Here's Kenny, supported. Oh, well, he's passed and Cronin wasn't able to get it. Here's Ellis. Good heavy hit then. Wynn and Stewart driving in together. Out through Henjack to O'Callaghan, the run around on the second rower. And it's with Ron Giddo, but Brett Kenny's got him nailed. Here's Elliott, met by Paul Mayer. Henjack. This is Hamilton, the winger. O'Sullivan backs up and almost makes the clean break. But Phelan made the tackle. Another very important tackle made by Chris Phelan. 5 gone now. Giddo sets himself to kick. It's a big one down ground between fullback and winger. Taylor going towards Growth's wing. Comes to Hoffman and takes the tackle. So Hunt's gone across to run it now. I can't quite work out what Neil Hunt had reason to go across there to go dummy half for when Eric Growth was standing within a metre of it. Canberra's got the ball. So Canberra have got a very good chance now. They've got to stretch it. Well, Hoffman didn't realise he had the numbers to his left. Now it's with Bellamy. 2 tackles gone for Canberra. Dummy half is Jay Hoffman. Of course, now Canberra are in the territory that they want to be in because a penalty will see them get back to 10-10. O'Sullivan, short pass for Bacco. 5 gone. Dummy half is O'Sullivan. He puts the kick up. It's a good looker. Growth missed it. It's down, a chance for Canberra. And 6 more, says the referee. Blindside is pretty brittle. There's Grant. He's gone in. Grant has scored. He actually took off like Moss Trooper. He hurdled them. He went right over the top. Big David Grant. The blind was as brittle as all hell. And O'Sullivan goes and he takes off. Whooshka! And if he was at Los Angeles next month, I reckon he'd win a medal for diving. Have a look at him head on. Straight across the top of them. And the referee giving a try to this man, David Grant. Canberra leading by 2 points now, 12-10. Giddo, 10 metres in from touch. He hooks it. He's got it. Oh, the crowd has gone mad now. Canberra's got Parramatta on the ropes. The Eels are buckling. Forlorn sight at the moment. Sterling floats it out and finds Growth. He's around his winger. He's got to come back into the centre and they take him there, O'Callaghan and Bacco. 5 gone as it comes with Peter Wynn. And it's gone to Taylor, down to Sterling. He gets a kick in and it's down with Dean Lance. He's indicating a charge down. Edgy says, what was that for? Solid hit then by the Parramatta defencemen with Price and Wynn. I'll just go back and clarify that ruling of Barry Barnes. He ruled a charge down on Dean Lance, which is no knock on. Grant, a handoff to Bellamy. Muggleton's on the sideline. So is Nathan Gibbs. Ellis. He's through again, the big front rower. Just outside the 22 line.
And it took Paul Mayers to tidy up that tackle. That was another promising break by the Raiders, and if it hasn't been for Mayers, Parramatta would be well behind in this match.
So 2 replacements go on. Peter Wynn is off. No, Peter Wynn is still on. Mark Lowry is off, and Chris Phelan, I think, is off. Five tackles gone, and Henjack away from Taylor. Winner's got him, and that'll be a... What's he calling it back now? Barnes has called it back to put a scrum down. Penalty to Parramatta. I think he's got the Canberra half. He has, for not retiring. Well, this is going to be one of Parramatta's last chances to get out of this one. 14-10. Canberra leading. And that sun is blazing its way into the crowd on the hillside, but the rest of the ground is in semi-darkness. Growth has his legs cut from under him by Bacco, or by Ellis it was, the front rower. Mayers. They've been probing for this opening, but it just hasn't been there. 14-10 then to Canberra. This is Nathan Gibbs. Parramatta with two fresh forwards on. Mayers is injured in the back play. Here's Ella working for the opening. This will take all the magic of Ella and Kenny and Sterling to get them out of it. Here's Kenny with it now. 5 tackles gone. Win to Sterling. They put the bomb up, Parramatta. And it's been raked back. There's a chance on out wide if Cronin can pass. The referee has said play on. It's with Growth, and Growth has tackled 15 out. 6 more tackles for Parramatta, a real chance. But that certainly is a bit of stupid football there. That has given Canberra time to reform their defensive pattern. Stewart now. 3 tackles gone.
It was very noticeable on that break that Mick Cronin didn't elect to run himself and draw a man. I think he must be favouring the knee or the groin problem that he's had in the last few weeks. All he could do was catch and pass to Growth.
4 tackles gone for the Eels. Sterling, that's Ella now. Tackled on 5. Don't be surprised if they run it this time, Parramatta. Sterling puts up the kick. Mayers is underneath it, and it's raked back, and it's with Neil Hunt. It's gone to John Muggleton. Muggleton is, I think, no, it's in a touch. In a touch. Billy Walker injured for Canberra. A boarding house scrape of butter in it.
It was a pretty important decision, really, because had he been pushed out before the touchline, it would have been a scrum, which would have given Parramatta some chance of getting the ball back. But the referees ruled he was knocked dead in goal, and as such, Canberra now can ruck the ball out of their danger zone.
Walker's back on his feet. This is Elliott. The Parramatta's just got to come up with the football now. Canberra breezing along with the breeze. Kenny. This will be a penalty. Sterling's line finder. Yeah, he's got a touch, O'Callaghan. So it's going to be a scrum to restart it. 5 minutes to go. Scrum won against the feed by Canberra. It's still on the... It's a penalty to Canberra. Price is saying what for? stations now. The Eels down by 4 and 4 minutes to go. Is on in 21 for Canberra. He's taken the place of Billy Walker, the wing 3/4. Grant held by Stewart and Mayers. Backo. Mayers is getting through a mountain of work. Hoffman, who just has kept on making breaks here today. Hoffman from dummy half in particular. The scrum count he'll be happy with. 10-3. Grant bustling his way upfield. 5 gone for the Raiders. Play on, he played it and there wasn't a dummy half. It's with Brett Kenny. Kenny's to the halfway now. He's lost it. The referee has ruled that it was taken from him by a Canberra player. Henjack fell on it, and that's a knock on. Two minutes to go. Scrum win by the Eels. Taylor comes in. He was standing on the blind side. He came to the open. Win, Sterling, Price. 4 metres on their own side of halfway. Penalty to Parramatta for stealing the ball against Lance. Sterling's going to shoot for line. And that's a better kick from Sterling.
Yes, yes.
32 metres out. Tap taken by Stewart. He's reached the quarter. So it's almost sure that they'll go for the 5 tackles and then put the bomb up. They've been belting their head against a brick wall trying to crack them with the orthodox football. Taylor, a handoff for Price. 15 metres out. Mears goes from dummy half. He just hesitates and looks for somebody. He would have been better off going himself, though. That'll be 4 tackles. Sterling passes and finds... Cronin's put it down. Well, the scrum to go down with just half a minute to go. Out the same tunnel. Chris O'Sullivan again defeated. Penalty to Canberra. Well, that's the ball game. That's as good as the ball game because Parramatta had to win that ball from the scrum to have any hope of snatching victory. But Canberra have got them now with the seconds, the final seconds of this match ticking away. And Ron Giddo taking as much time as he can in making this decision. Elliott finds the line. 32 metres away from his own. Lance. And there's the siren. The Raiders have beaten the Eels 14-10. We're sitting on top of the grandstand to do this telecast, and even the grandstand shook as this Canberra crowd stood and cheered as one. And what a performance by the Raiders, being bowling over the Parramatta side here this afternoon. By 14-10, the try by David Grant, of course, will be long remembered. Tries by young Corkery, Matthew Corkery, who was replaced at half-time. Also by David Grant. Giddo kicked 3 goals. The Parramatta Mark Laurie a try. Michael Cronin 3 goals. 14-10, the final score in favour of Canberra. And these camera shots that you're going to pick up in a few moments' time are those from the Canberra dressing room. And it will be one of great joy. That face on Jay Hoffman probably says as much as any amount of words can say.
In a great game of football here at Seiffert Oval, today's NEC and Electronic Sales and Rentals man of the match is the Canberra Raiders front row forward, Grant Ellis. Congratulations on a great game today.
Thanks very much, Bill. It was a very hard game.
When did you think you had the game won?
Well, when the bell went, they were they're on their line for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and with players like Growth and Sterling and Price out there, well, I thought, well, you know, it's going to be pretty hard to hold them out.
You made a lot of yardage up the middle. Was that a pre-game plan to play them through the forwards?
No, Bill, I haven't played prop before, and I thought, well, that's the way props do it. So watching John McLeod and David Grant, I thought that's the way to go. So I left the wide running up to Sam Backo and Paul Elliott, so I just did what I had to do.
For taking today's award, it's my pleasure to present you with this cheque for $500, courtesy of NEC and Electronic Sales and Rentals.
Well, I'd like to thank Sales and Rentals for the award. It's very generous. Thanks very much.
That Parramatta defence is fairly hard to break, but you found a new way to break it today. Was that a planned move, the dive over the top?
No, it wasn't, Bill. I just seen the gap, so I went for it, and I was pretty good enough to get a try.
With shades of Superman too.
Oh, I don't know about that, Bill, but it was good to score.
At what stage did you think you had the game won?
Oh, gee, no, when it was... I waited for the whistle to blow, actually, for the last 10 minutes. When you're leading 14-10 against Parramatta, it's nothing. They could put it on from 60 or 70 yards out. They've got so much speed out there, and that was one of the major worries. So I couldn't say I was confident until right to the bell.
So Grant Ellis takes out my Man of the Match award here at Seiffert Oval this afternoon. 2 years in a row for Canberra over the Eels, and a record crowd repeating was set here this afternoon. Let's have a look at the other match. Lane 10, Manly 20, Cronulla 16, Souths 14, Eastern Suburbs 12, Norths 34, Illawarra 24, St George 26, Western Suburbs 7, and Canberra 14, Parramatta 10. Premiership table, Canterbury on 30, St George on 28, Parramatta on 26, and there you have the top three. The top five is clear-cut too tonight, with Canberra and Penrith jointly taking over those 4th and 5th positions. Just out of the five, Balmain, Manly and Souths. Then on 18, Illawarra Norths, Cronulla 16, East 10 and West 6. Next weekend it's Eastern Suburbs playing North Sydney. Manly plays South.